all my life.
Oh Lord. Get it.
And
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Bruce Lee. Right. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for watching us again. We are the three guys from Knowhere. I'm Andy, this is Josh, this is Jeff. We're going to do something a little different this time and talk about video game adaptations that have been turned into movies. More specifically, we're on the heels of Mortal Kombat. A huge movie. It's kind of a reprise from something that happened in the 90s. So we're going to try and jump into it, and I want to hear what Josh has to say first.
With this particular movie, I think I went in with a lot of high expectations. Just based on the trailer, visually it looked really great. Also, I think Mortal Kombat is a franchise. Like, it has a lot of good elements that you could actually work a movie out of. But in my opinion, this kind of fell flat. Movie was really fun.
To say the least.
Movie was really fun at the beginning. I thought Kano was a really good character. Hats off to the actor who played him. But that was pretty much as much as I enjoyed from the movie. Outside of a couple of the fight scenes were choreographed pretty well. But not my favorite, and unfortunately we are still on what I would consider a downturn for video game adaptations into movies being something that they can actually have some credibility to fall behind.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I want to hear your opinions on this guy.
What's
And because you were the first one to watch it.
I was the first one to watch
and you actually told us that we should watch it.
We took a while to watch it because you told us
time.
it sucked. Yeah. No. Like, I've never... Okay, like, let's put it this way. I have literally never been so disappointed in a film. Like, I went in so pumped. Like you said, like, the trailer was so... Like,
you should have seen that in text form.
Yeah. It was a lot longer.
You can probably throw that
up. The trailer, like, made me excited, and I was, like, so pumped that night. Like, I kicked you out of the house. I was like, you gotta get the fuck out. I'm gonna watch Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And
Which one of the trailers, though? Because they had like 47 trailers.
I didn't watch the release of the first 7 minutes or whatever, basically the Scorpion fight in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I've never been so disappointed in a movie. Like Justice League. Like, when we saw Justice League, like, I was disappointed, but I also kind of was like, man, I didn't really have.
They tried.
Womp womp. Yeah, they tried. But like, literally, I've just been never been so disappointed. Like, I disagreed. I think most of the fight scenes were pretty garbage. Like, they were kind of mediocre. Like, it's nothing we've never seen before. It was nothing special. You're talking, like you said, talking about a franchise that's been around for so long. Fuck up the lore completely. Mm-hmm. Kano, yes, is the best. Kano and Cabal are the best characters in the whole movie.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. It's Kano and Cabal, and even Cabal, though, like, total plot hole. He goes, oh yeah, I have a score to settle with Kano, and then, hey, join us. We have free donuts on Fridays. Like, I thought you hated him. Like, why are you saying you should join up? Like, why?
Because he knew he was an awful cunt that would do anything for money.
For sure. But, like, you just have a whole movie that, like, doesn't... And not... Basically not giving a crap about the lore, which is what we're going to go into, kind of why video game movies always kind of fail, is just, hey, this thing's popular, let's make a movie about it. Oh, but we don't give actual two craps about why it's popular.
Yeah, understandable. You know? So, Andy, you got any...
I'm going to give you the hot take
here, because I know that you had some notes specifically pointing on Kano and Cabal being obviously great characters in this. So
now there are a couple things. I disagree. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. It had... Obviously, it wasn't fucking fantastic. It wasn't great. I enjoyed it. It was. I thought it was paced well. They think one of the things that was a detriment was that it was not paced well.
No, it was like fast, slow.
I apologize to everybody who acted in the movie for choosing the wrong career, because your acting was absolute fucking garbage.
Whoa.
But
he's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Their acting was absolute shit. But the storylines, I think, made decent sense. The fighting made more sense. And here's okay, here, I'm going to go into this. I think it was better than the 90s version,
so
1 and 2.
Well, obviously 2. Like,
but I'm going to tell you, yeah, obviously.
The Room is, like...
Now...
The Room is better than 2.
Wait, is that the James Franco movie?
The James Franco movie is a movie about fucking...
But that's his movie about the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the
rabbit hole.
I'll say set deck in the 90s version, Outworld looked way better.
Yeah.
Outworld was cool, but in this movie, despite the subpar acting, minus Kano ruled. Kano was fucking awesome. So the 90s movie, they went actually to the tournament. This wasn't Shang Tsung trying to kill everybody before a tournament. They actually went to the tournament, and then fighting broke out just wherever they happened to fucking be.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at it, like Liu Kang's fucking fight against Sub-Zero, just he was walking through a thing, and then Sub-Zero showed up, and boom, here's the fight. Is that a real fight? Is that a tournament sanctioned fight? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
The fucking shit doesn't make sense. This one at least gave you, in the beginning, none of this is part of the tournament. We're trying to break the rules and do the things. I'm gonna try and just wrap it up real quick, but Reptile was dope, Kano was dope, Goro was dope. Shang Tsung should have taken more souls than one, and Kung Lao's soul, that sucked, because he was the best fucking character in the movie. Best not character in the movie, but best fighter for Earthrealm.
Yeah, they butchered Liu Kang.
He showed up when they were trying to defend themselves. Dude pops out of the floor and fucking throws his hat like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
This guy was ready to fight Outworld. And we've got a bunch of fucking humans with their dicks in their hands, and it didn't work for them, obviously. So I thought it was decently paced. There was good story. Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, the fighting made more sense. Their backstory made sense. The Mark and the Hakana and how they get the powers, that kind of shit was wishy-washy. And Liu Kang and Raiden are supposed to find some dudes, but while they're sitting on their ass in the temple,
The people
that only Kano the douchebag knows about. Like,
they come to them.
They had a whole lot of fucking problems in this movie. Let me be fair. I just enjoyed it more.
So I think let's just really quickly get into the plot and just kind of what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it. Really quick, open discussion. I mean, for me, again, Hakana, I didn't like that aspect. I definitely didn't like the aspect that they used some really good characters in the Mortal Kombat lore, Mileena, Goro, Cabal, as really stepping stone characters for whatever they're trying to create.
Yeah,
they're trying to create more movies to just.
They're obviously going to try and get into Sindel and all.
Little screen time, and then to just kill them off, just to throw some fan service to some fatalities.
Oh,
exactly.
There's some pretty good fatalities.
It's great to see the fatalities on screen,
but
again, stepping stones for good characters that you could have developed.
But you saw 2 fatalities, and much to your point, and this is sort of like this is going to dovetail, and I'm going to dovetail this into what we're going to really talk about overall. But like, you got 2 fatalities in this movie. The plot of this movie makes 0 sense, like across the board. There's not one plot point in this movie that makes sense.
Sure you were. Because I think the plot made sense. Break down very simply. Tournament's coming up. We get to invade if we win this tournament. Let's just break the rules and kill all their fucking fighters so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
That's about the long and short of it.
However, like him and I, we know a little bit more about Mortal Kombat lore than you do.
Dick. Plot finished.
Than I think you do. Like, I know, like, a lot about... Like,
whoa. Last night, I read the entire Wikipedia page. So
now he's a resident expert over here.
I know...
Something.
Can't pronounce any of their fucking names, and what's his name?
Quan
Chi. He knows.
All right, anyway,
cool.
Jeff, go ahead and finish what you're...
So, first of all, the Mark. Okay, so the Mark passes from Scorpion to his son. Or his daughter, I guess. Was his daughter the baby?
I'm assuming.
No, the baby was a son.
Was it a son?
Was Takeda, but
no, you're right.
Yeah,
Raiden says I took her.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
She was the
matriarch. Then they point out later
how great this movie was.
Then they point out later that if you just kill someone with that mark, you get the mark.
Yeah, by proxy.
By proxy. Yeah. But yet it's apparently been passed down to Cole for hundreds of years as a birthmark.
Hundreds of proxies.
But just passed down through birth.
Yeah,
so it doesn't make sense is what he's saying.
Yeah. So his mom's mom. None
of them got murdered.
Just none of them got murdered. And then he ends up...
Or dad takes the baby arm and fucking stabs mom.
Whatever.
My point is it doesn't fucking make sense.
Sure, whatever. Yeah. Also, the simple fact that Raiden knows the tournament's coming up and does nothing to search for Earth champions. He takes no agency. He's actually a dick to everybody, except for Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Liu Kang, who has been since the beginning of the games, been like the star of the games. The guy.
He's taken down Shao Kahn 3 times.
Yeah. And then
you did do your research.
to introduce Cole Young, which literally this is a video game. This is a video game franchise that spans 30 years, has hundreds of characters, and you introduce a new character that he sucked. He was a bad fighter. Fine, I can get that. It's okay. It's the tired ass 90s version of a movie. Hey, this guy is special. Because of what?
So are we assuming though that by that point that Mortal Kombat has become a tired ass 90s franchise?
Ooh.
All right. So
anyway, so they were in Outworld. So that's the first game that had the tournament. So I'm fine with the movie not having a tournament, even though that's not what we wanted. That's again, it's that thing of Hollywood making here's this IP.
Hey, but Jax beats Reiko on a very iconic.
Let's not talk about Jax.
Yeah, that's a different. Yeah. We'll get into that maybe, or maybe leave that.
But
Jax destroying Reiko on a very iconic fucking bridge from the games.
Yeah,
it was very cinematically. The second they were there, you go, oh wow.
Yeah,
that's from the games.
Again, that's like some Hollywood d-bag going, hey, people really like this IP. It'll make us money. Let's not do. We don't give a shit why people like it or the reasons why these characters are popular. Don't do that. You don't go your own way.
And if you're going to, make a better fucking story.
If you're going to, at least make a story that makes sense. Don't give this birthmark thing. Raiden, who's an elder god who's supposed to be gathering the champions, which they say in the movie, but he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Liu Kang was sent to search for them, but he's just walking in the middle of a desert 10 feet, 20 feet from the fucking temple. So what is he? Fucking Kang from Kung Fu?
Hey, fuckers, found him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
good thing they came to me.
I think
a long time.
Yeah. And I think that with that point, will kind of open us up into the spectrum of what we're really going to talk about, which is why video game adaptations to movies are
typically
don't work.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to get into one of mine, if you guys don't mind, that I'd like to start off with. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, which is World of Warcraft. Now, this World of Warcraft, again, the same type of
pronounced
game.
WoW.
Well, the movie was just called Warcraft.
I'm talking for all the people out there that don't play WoW.
Wow.
But
give me more dots. I need more dots.
In that essence, same thing like you said.
Damage over time.
Warcraft.
I know. I played the Jurassic Park.
The Warcraft has a lot of lore. And
it
has a lot to draw from. That's really good. And I think
the Warcraft movie, it took place before
World
of Warcraft?
Yeah.
Wait, so there's lore, there's stories
why
the orcs.
There's so much. It's fascinating how much there is.
Warcraft, and this is before they ever did
throw up
World.
a picture of the guy, that kid. There was this kid at BlizzCon that actually talked to the people that wrote the game, the developers, and he was like, "Hey, let me tell you about the backstory, the lore that you guys have created, and why this doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
And they actually put this kid as a dwarf in a game because he saw a plot hole in their lore that they've already created.
And that's why
how much lore is there.
Yeah, no, there's so much
Anyway,
lore.
that being said, this movie was fucking boring. In my opinion, I fell asleep in the theaters watching it.
The CG was kind of...
I thought it was really wild how everybody had accents, and then you get... what's his fucking name? Ben...
I hope you guys know.
Ben Foster. All right, then you got Ben Foster in there, who is the only person in the movie, for some reason, that doesn't have an accent. And I really feel like he was kind of just...
Tom Cruising it?
Yes, he was in there for a paycheck. His character seemed very lazy, and his character Medivh is actually really important to the whole lore of Warcraft in general. So again, just kind of one of those movies that I thought was kind of similar to Mortal Kombat in relation to just, again, why these movies don't work, and kind of akin to what you're saying too, which is that, and I hate saying this because it is David Bowie's son, and I mean, David Bowie's fantastic, but you got to get people that are passionate about the project to be able to direct and write these movies, because at the end of the day, there is a lot to draw from these IPs, and you really have to do more fan service than just creating orcs, creating fatalities, putting names to characters, and putting faces.
Well, that's the other thing too. It's like they're making these IPs, they're adapting these IPs for fan service, but it's like they're not respecting. They're doing it for fan service because they think the average person doesn't care. So they go, but the average person also knows, kind of recognizes that thing. So that's the fan service that we get.
It's like you said, they boiled it down into this little thing that fits into your pocket. Fatalities, neat uniforms,
which I disagree.
A tournament, Outworld, make a movie.
Like,
But not somebody
I
that
was-
actually gives a shit.
I mean,
about-
I'm gonna throw this out there. Costume design, pretty fucking dope.
Costume design-
Sub-Zero and
Sub-Zero had
Scorpion.
it was Sub-Zero was a little busy, but
no, it's not that it was busy. It didn't fit. It didn't fit him. Like, it literally didn't fit his body.
and the mask was too big for his face.
It was too big for his face, and it was like
Was he like-
askew. Also, Jackson's dumb metal arms. That's not a Nakana. That's just growing metal arms. Shut up.
That's nanotech.
Yeah. Shut up. And,
All right.
why are
And then
these
he lifts a
monks-
rock,
And why are
which
these monks
requires
making him
strength,
weird
too.
little tiny chicken arms? What the fuck is that gonna do?
So, with that being said, are we taking our first break?
Then
Yeah,
we're gonna
sure.
take a break.
Right.
We're gonna come back, and then we're gonna get into Jeff's craziness.
We don't have to do this. We
We don't have to. Yeah, we
We
can
don't
just
have
cut
to do
it.
this.
I thought we were gonna.
Hey, but you know what? If I told you that you took a break
We're
and
taking a
then you
break.
saw why the transition was weird, would you feel better about it?
Yeah.
Would you not
Probably.
judge me, internet?
fucking interwebs.
I'm still on your side.
Need to fucking pause it.
So this takes us to, like, the most infamous bad fucking video game movie ever, Super Mario Brothers.
I fucking knew it.
Oh,
I fucking knew it.
Not giving two craps what that video game was. And like, granted, like, back then, I mean, we've had good video game adaptations from back then. Like, Sonic was okay. It was fine. It was a kid movie. It was fine.
With the new one?
Yeah, the new one. It was
I
fine.
haven't seen it.
It was good. It was good. It was okay.
It didn't wow me.
It was a
It
little
took
bit
them
fun.
2 fucking tries to get it right. So
Well, because they
gave him
fucked
some
up.
creepy teeth.
They fucked up on
because they full on fucked it
But
up.
but again, that's also like a comment to what we're talking about. Like, don't give a crap about how he's supposed to look. So we're gonna do our own take, and everybody on the internet like hated it so much that they basically had to spend millions of dollars to go back and redo it. But it was an okay movie.
Imagine if the
Because
internet existed in
you're talking about
1995 and they fixed Mortal Kombat.
Shut up, you're wrong.
All right, so
because
Mario
you're
Brothers. Let's get
yeah,
on point.
But anyways, you're talking about a studio who literally went back, spent millions of dollars to go fix the dumb crap they did to Sonic because they try to make him look more realistic. But like, that's not what we want. Like, Sonic's doesn't have lore.
But we wanted practical effects for Goombas in Mario Brothers.
No one wanted practical effects for Goombas.
Those little heads, though.
Oh,
Tell
man.
me about the little heads, Jeff.
Let's hear. I really want to hear your opinions on Mario Brothers because
It's the worst movie ever made.
as a kid, honestly, I enjoyed
Like,
it.
Mono Sands of Fate and like Plan 9 from Outer Space have nothing on Super Mario Brothers.
But it's funny. Like as a kid, I enjoyed
Those are
it.
award-winning.
And then
Like
my
Total Recall models.
my thought
Yes.
about it was that it was actually a good movie when I was an adult. I was like dead set on the fact that no, this was a good movie and this adaptation was good. And then a buddy of mine,
I got you better.
we went out and rented it and rewatched it.
Yeah,
and
it's so
about
fucking bad.
30 minutes in the movie, I was like, why the fuck did I ever think this was
Yeah.
good? It was awful.
I got you one better though. Double Dragon.
Ooh, wow. What's
Loved
awful?
Double Dragon as a kid.
Oh,
Loved it.
is that from fuck? What's
Scott
that show?
Baio and
Of course it was.
What's the
Scott
Scott
Baio?
Scott
Scott
Baio was
Baio?
in it, but
Yeah,
then who's the guy from
I suppressed
Iron
that memory.
Chef? Iron Chef.
Yeah, that's
Iron
right.
Chef.
Yeah.
He was in it.
I've
know.
actually
Oh my
seen it. I
God.
have no fucking
Oh,
recollection.
dude, I remember all of it.
Zero
God.
fucking recollection of it.
Dude, Bobo
Oh.
and then Sean something. The guy who was T1000 in T2.
Okay, yeah.
He was the bad guy. He was the
Yeah.
Shadow King.
Hey, have you seen this kid?
Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, definitely agree with that.
But like again, to what you were saying, I loved that as a kid.
As a kid,
I
right?
haven't watched it again in a long time. I'm sure it does not hold up.
So I think at that point, what I would recommend, because I'm just going to give my personal experience with rewatching something that I thought was good as a kid, is probably do not revisit that movie because it might ruin those memories
Yeah,
for you.
for sure.
Because I will definitely say that
But I
I
will-
honestly thought that Super Mario Brothers was good until
showing
I
around
watched
his
it,
adult
and it
life.
was fucking awful.
Yeah,
It was awful.
I do love.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe for his mental trauma because he was walking around his whole adult life thinking
Hey,
this
link
was
right
okay.
up there, right up there.
Yeah, we'll start GoFundMe for that. I remember as a kid knowing Double Dragon was bad, but loving it. Like loving it the way I you love like Surf Ninjas or like
Oh, Survivor.
You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I'm saying.
Or
Like,
never-ending story.
Shut up.
I know.
You shut your
Well, that's
fucking-
that's a
you shut
that's a
your
different
fucking
movie for
whore
a
mouth.
different time. We'll revisit that later. So,
I may or may not have done that on purpose.
So Andy,
So-
let's hear yours. You got a couple lined up here.
I've got a couple that I don't
Check my
feel
notes.
so strongly enough to spend a lot of time on, so I picked two. Or technically more than two, because Street Fighter had more than one movie.
Yeah.
And there's the something of Chun-Li, and Chun-Li gets a fucking
It's I have it
So-
in my notes. It's the Legend of Chun-Li.
Oof.
How did I not guess that? The Legend of
Yeah.
Legend of fill in the blank.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That sounds very Street Fighter-esque.
And also,
get-
the high kicks of Chun-Li would have been a bad title.
Ooh, I think that would have been a good.
That would have been a great title. A great title
Alright,
for
fine.
a porn. so Jean-Claude Van Damme. You get Jean-Claude Van Damme. You get the guy that plays Bison. And
Raul
he's-
Julia. It was his
What?
last.
It was his last
It was his
role.
last role.
No shit.
Yeah, he
Yes,
died
he
right
died
after
right
that.
after
Oh,
that.
he was a fucking
and,
great
and what a
actor.
fantastic actor.
And you know, what, dude, like
Very unfortunate,
That,
very
that movie
unfortunate.
sucks,
I didn't
but
know he fucking died
yeah,
right
he
after
died
that.
right. It was
Yeah.
his last movie role.
It was.
That movie sucks, but you got to give it to Raul Julia. He gave it his all. He,
Yes,
like,
yeah,
for sure.
He really like ate. He ate every single bit of scenery in that.
But so
Yeah.
so it's the same tropes. It's the we could use better acting, and here we are. We're a '90s movie that we're going to adapt from a video game, and we're going to just try and introduce every character piece by piece until they randomly come together and they have a mission, and then they're going to go fight the big bad, and it's just formulaic and crappy, and it's just I feel like with what the
also,
I'm a fucking Marvel nerd. I feel like with what Marvel has done with storytelling, that's not going to cut it these days for fans. That kind of '90s way of telling
Yeah, no,
nerdy
for sure.
story. My second movie that I needed to throw out
Here,
there.
real quick before you go into your second movie, Kylie Minogue as Cammy.
Wait,
Get
what?
out.
Yeah,
That was
Kylie
Kylie
Minogue. Yeah.
Wait, let's hear your second one.
I've got one
love
second
me
one
that
that it's an honorable mention, I suppose,
Adding
because I
on
imagine you
Facebook,
guys
Sarah
you guys all love it.
666.
We're gonna talk about Doom. Doom.
So would you say that this movie was doomed from the start?
Yes, I would. I love the pun. So Doom had The Rock, and literally nothing else.
Had
They
Carl
did-
Urban.
Did it? I haven't seen it.
Fair
So.
enough.
You never seen Doom?
Really?
No, I
Alright,
wasn't gonna
whatever.
watch
It
it.
was okay. So they did. I
That's
feel
a game
like
that I played with the boys.
they
at Boca.
tried to explore we got dudes on Mars and things went awry, but I feel like they tried to overstory it. They tried to throw more story on it than it needed to. The only cool thing about it, and they fucking knew they were doing it, they added the finish him. Rock gets a plasma gun at the end.
No,
So
that's not what
or
it
the
is.
other fucking guy gets plasma gun. But it was I haven't watched it in a while because it sucked.
It didn't suck.
It sucked all the balls. So it was interesting and fun to watch. Kudos on them. It's a first person shooter game, so they did that cinematically. Toward one point, that was neat.
That was awesome.
We all went, okay, that's cool. Fuck you, that's fun. But other than that, I'm never gonna watch that movie again. It sucks all the dick. Give me Dragon Ball Z movies or something.
Oh, but we did that.
Oof,
And,
wait, but that's now we're going into a
Yeah, that's
different
a whole-
realm. We're
a whole
doing
thing.
anime and
Did
some
I do
live
that on
action.
purpose? Whoops.
Hollywood,
So,
I did that survey. No, Doom, you're wrong. Doom is a lot of fun. Because, well, I will admit they were piggybacking off of Doom 3, which was off canon anyway.
Does Doom have canon?
Sort of.
How do you create canon from Doom
There
They
was.
have
a backstory
There was backstory.
to two games that were maybe on MS-DOS?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
you get it to finally a feasible playable
For-
system.
And no one ever made it past the trial disc.
For anybody, the
exactly right.
demo disc. For anybody that still has the demo disc, IDSPOSPOPD is how you walk through walls. I don't know why the fuck I remember that.
Wow.
That shit's very bad.
Oh,
That
get
shit
rid
is
of this
very
guy.
bad.
It's like burying up, down, left, right,
Yes,
yeah,
that's a Contra code,
Yeah,
right?
it's a Contra.
There's
Why-
something about it that
like,
just
why do
flies.
I remember the Contra?
Wait, why haven't they made a Contra movie yet? Anyway, okay, that's because it's
have you not
probably also a bad idea. So
it's
I think
happening,
at this
probably.
point, let's go through
Maybe.
a couple notables. Let's go through a couple notables of what we also did not think
Okay.
that were good. So you guys want to throw any out there? You guys have any
I'll
off the top
start
of your
with
head
I'll
that you
start
think were
with
good?
Hitman. Hitman was actually pretty enjoyable movie had you never played the game.
Timothy Olyphant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never played the
Timothy
game.
fantastic.
But I was aware of the game. I was kind of aware of the story. Then you watch the movie, take the game out of it. It was a decent, oh, these guys are hitmen. He's bald and he fucking does things. And it's Russia. Good on you. You have some intriguing crap, and he kills people. And then he fights other hitmen. It was enjoyable. It was fun. What do you got?
Hit people.
Hit people. That's right. There could be hit girls.
So what am I doing? Bad ones?
Yeah.
Am I doing bad ones?
That's just notable nonsense.
No, so, I mean, notable bad one is Assassin's Creed.
Didn't see it.
It was bad.
Really?
So bad.
I haven't seen it
I love
because of
Michael
his
Fassbender.
recommendation.
I like me some Michael Fassbender.
Or lack thereof.
And I feel that's an IP that could warrant a movie, though you're really treading lightly. You have to really tread lightly on the lore of that
It's
franchise.
very expansive.
It's very expansive, and it covers a lot of history. It covers a lot of modern day stuff.
My problem with that was at least from the trailers. Once again, I haven't seen the movie, so don't fucking crucify me. It looked as if it was going to spend a lot more time on the modern day and what's going on, and then kind of shoot to what he did
versus time in the Animus.
It kind of did it.
It really would have. I feel like it would have worked. A movie like that, you base the movie in Jerusalem during the Crusades, and cut to the Animus.
Yeah.
It would have worked way better.
And that's what I loved about that series. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that. They don't like the Animus stuff, and they don't like the the present day parts. But I actually really liked that. I thought it was a really cool thing to do. Like, you're not just doing.
When you can't not have it. Well, you have to talk about the modern stuff.
But you could. Like, if what I'm saying is that they could have done that game with. Like, I know people who don't like the game because of the modern stuff.
Oh.
You could have just done, hey, every game we're just doing a period piece that.
Like a brief introduction into the Animus, and then actually get in the movie.
We live in a
no
Animus.
Erase the Animus?
I know a lot of people. Yeah,
What is the
erase the
fucking
Animus,
Animus then?
and erase the Animus. There's no Animus. There's no present day parts. It's
just have assassins in
No,
different
yeah,
ways.
exactly.
Okay.
I know a lot of people who kind of feel that way about that series.
And we live in a
really
multi-platform world where you could have released a fucking comic that had the Animus and shit in it.
Stop talking about the Animus. What I'm saying is, I know a lot of people who don't like the Animus part of the Assassin's Creed
There's
series.
that word again, Animus. Why is everything?
I feel like they've got so much animosity.
Like they would love to have just played that game as like period killers.
Period. Correct.
Like period killers,
Actually,
and then you could have built whatever the world building was to make sequels and whatever. But
I get what you're saying. I get
and
what
just
you're
cut
saying.
that part out completely out. I personally really like
agree.
that. I personally really like that. I like the science fiction part of it and whatever.
Well, the first game had a lot less of the Animus than the second, and so on.
The first
no,
game had a
actually,
ton of the
they all
Animus.
no, yeah,
They all do.
The first game, the fun parts about it were running around.
That's my point of what everybody's point usually
We'll
is.
go ahead and wrap it up here with. I'm just gonna do one last one that I think is.
In case you're wondering why we're looking down, we got a little list.
On not a good video game franchise. I'm gonna get really quick into it. Then we'll throw out a couple good ones, just some notables before we get into our rating for Mortal Kombat.
Final thoughts.
Resident Evil.
You
I
bitch.
thought
You
was
had to. You had to,
Resident
didn't you?
Evil. Yes, I did. Resident Evil was a terrible movie franchise because it actually, I think, kind of changed the course of the way that the games were, which the games were based off of horror primarily until Resident Evil 3, which kind of got into a little bit more action, but that was also at the same time where they started introducing the movies for Resident Evil, which kind of took the franchise into this action game, action horror kind of franchise, horror games literally. And it took that away from that, and that is another example of why video game movie adaptations don't work. So all right, well, I think with that then, let's go ahead and wrap this up. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my rating. I'm going to give my 12 monkeys to Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to give it... No, I'm giving my 12 monkey rating.
Give it your monkeys.
I'm going to give my monkeys
the number of the monkeys
to Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to give it a 2 out of 12. Ooh, and the reason being is because, honestly, I think that watching this movie starting out, I was really into it. I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, they have some good character development with Kano and kind of what was going on. I thought he was very a clever character, well done. it started off pretty good. About 30 minutes in the movie, I was pretty into it. And then from there, I had no idea what the fuck I was watching. And I got really confused, got really lost. Definitely didn't like the way that they handled the end of the movie. Cole, if that was his character, I don't know what I was not following
worst
it.
Dude ever.
But essentially, he literally is Takeda from Mortal Kombat 10.
No, yeah.
He's that character.
Yeah.
So just give him the name, Takeda. Don't name him Cole, just give him a character name who's already in the fucking
Asian dude,
like constantly like teasing like he's Scorpion.
Yeah, it just really lost me.
That's a good point.
Not really good.
And his power is plot armor.
2 out of 12
Literal.
monkeys for me. So, Andy, let's hear it.
It's you first.
You want me to go first? Because I was going to give the lower monkeys. I'm going to give the higher monkeys.
Which is why. Which is why you're going next. We need some balance to the force.
Where do we go here? 6 feels low, 8 feels high. So we're going to get 7 monkeys.
Wolf.
We're going to give it 7 monkeys. Out of fucking 12,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's good.
that's lower than 2/3 of monkeys. So it just math.
Did you
It just
right now?
fuck yeah. It just it
Impressive.
was enjoyable. It was good in so much that I sat, I understood what was happening, and people fought, and Melina got fucking chopped in half, which was brutal and gruesome, and I love that. I had a good time. Story sucked, acting sucked, and they could have done a lot better things. There's a shitload more things they could have done. And they hopefully won't make too many more. But I had a good time. I sat and I watched a Mortal Kombat movie.
All right, word. I'm giving it fucking a half monkey. Like, a half monkey.
Do you cut the monkey yourself?
No, I think actually that's what happens when you do a fatality.
Yeah.
You end up with a half monkey.
Kung Lao gave me a half monkey.
Throw the bottom.
Again, like I said earlier, this is just sort of it's just indicative of what Hollywood does when it goes, hey, people like this thing, we don't give a fuck why, so let's make a movie. But like, screw that. That's like it totally is a middle finger to people who like this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really is. Like, you make this movie just to make a movie because you heard about these characters or whatever. The plot sucked. It made zero sense. Like Swiss cheese of plot holes. The Okana was the worst plot point that they throw away immediately when Sonya Blade kills Kano. Completely throw away. Raiden sucked because supposedly the Elder God of Earthrealm doesn't feel like getting off his ass to find the champion.
He's taking a siesta.
Yeah.
Which he in dialogue says later, I choose the champion.
Yeah.
Like, so if Chef Sun fucking kills him all, can't you just go get more?
And again, like the symbol. It's a birthmark, which they showed in the trailer, like made it a big deal. Oh, it's not a birthmark, Cole. It's an invitation. Also, why is Cole the one planning out their fucking their mission on killing all the other guys? Like, oh, Raiden, you can transport us 1-on-1. Why don't we just go 6-on-1, kill him real fast, go back, get the next one, kill him real fast, go back, get the next one. No, but fucking Cole, this dumb fucking character who just sucks and is the worst.
Standing next to 2 military strategists.
Yeah, standing next to 2 military strategists goes, hey, here's what we should do. And it was that tired 90s plotline. Mm-hmm.
Because he was our hero, Jeff. He's got a daughter.
Hang on, though. So, do you think that it would have been better cast if they would have cast Cole as Shia LaBeouf? Because that's kind of his character arc, and
he would have brought the intensity.
He would have brought. I'm this dopey loser that comes out and somehow I'm on top.
What is your weird thing about dopey losers in movies?
I don't know.
Hey, dopey losers.
Anyway, hey, that's gonna conclude this episode. Thank you guys for watching.
Please. Another quick honorable mention: Silent Hill. That was good.
Oh, Silent Hill was also good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it.
It was
okay. They were good. They were fine.
That being said, again, thanks for watching, you guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys do have any comments on anything that you'd like us to cover, I mean, look, we actually took it out of our normal realm. We took it to, would you say, the nether realm this time? But go ahead, like that button. Hit us in the comments. We're down to review whatever you guys got. And also, have a great night, you guys. Signing off. Later.
And no, I kicked Josh's ass in Deception.
He did not.